All right, party goers, people across the world, people across the galaxy, happy Halloween
Happy
from you.
Halloween!
Happy Halloween from your friends here at Zero Dark Nerdy, the galaxy's most notorious pop culture podcast. This is your boy Brian, aka Logan, aka Wolverine, and today I'm joined with
Jordan, aka Laura, aka X23.
There we go. We got Logan and X23. We're actually going to see how long if we can wear the claws throughout the entire episode. Of course, if you're listening, be sure to check us out. We are on the My Fox 8 app. That's right, My Fox 8. Thank you for having us. We started with them on September 1st. You can find it at myfox8.com/ZeroDarkNerdy. And of course, you can see the full episode because we can only do about 28 minutes on Fox 8. So you can see the full unedited episodes on our YouTube page, Zero Dark Nerdy on YouTube. So being that it's Halloween weekend, we are going to be talking about a couple different things here. You know, we've done our favorite horror movies on a couple different episodes, so we wanted to switch things up. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite scream queens and or final girls. Some of our favorite / terrifying creatures from movies and TV. And I'm going to be doing some of my top 5 remakes of all time. And I think Jordan's got a couple sprinkled on there too. Oh, I mean Laura.
Yes.
The
Yes,
sunglasses look good.
Yes, Papa.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. You know, I'll get things started here. Obviously, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 1980. I do want to give a couple honorable shout-outs out there. It is the 45-year anniversary of Friday the 13th, even though Jason doesn't make his appearance until at the very, very end of the movie. Spoilers ahead, by the way. It did start the entire Friday the 13th saga. So just in the 80s alone, they had 7 films come out, wrapping up in 89 with one of my personal favorites. I mean, it's the cheesiest of them all. But Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. 8 films alone, sorry about that, 8 films alone in the 80s with another 4 coming as well as a reboot in 2009 where you can actually see Jason run. 80s brought us a lot of great films. Some of my honorable mentions, Return of the Living Dead, where you see some of the first walking and running zombies. Fright Night, as well as Demons. All 3 of those in 85. Demons is especially terrifying because it takes place in a movie theater and all the stuff going on in the movie is happening in the theater as it happens. Lots of gore, tons of gore actually. Story is not so great, but it's the 80s. And then, wrapping up 87 Lost Boys. So just wanted to give a big shout out to all my 80s babies and 80s horror movie fans out there. So speaking of which, on to our favorite scream queens / final girls. So my list is, I did a top 3, and these are scream queens and final girls. So, sometimes there's one or the other, but, these are my top 3. I'm going to go number 3, go back down to 1. Number 3, one of the latest and greatest. Got to go with Mia Goth, part of the Ty West trilogy. Big shout outs to our girl Karina, by the way. Did I say it right?
Mm-hmm.
Karina? Yeah. All right, we're going to edit that out. Yeah, Karina. Yeah, big shout outs to our girl Karina. Mia Goth, you can see her in Maxine, Pearl, as well as X. She was in Suspiria, which I haven't seen yet, but I heard she was terrific in it. And she's in the upcoming Netflix Frankenstein film. So big ups to Mia Goth being one of the newer scream queens / final girls, and probably one of the best ones, like as far as like recent new ones out there. Right up there with her, though, coming in at number 2, Samara Weaving. She is just tremendous. First really noticed her in Ready or Not, which is really her breakout hit. Apparently they're doing a sequel, Ready or Not, Here I Come. The Babysitter on Netflix, as well as The Babysitter Killer Queen. She was fantastic. Scream 6, small little role there. And probably one of the more underrated ones out there, just films in general. If you have not seen Mayhem yet with our boy Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead, who played Glenn, definitely check out Mayhem. It is wild. It's pretty much Office Space meets not even The Walking Dead. It's like Office Space meets 28 Days Later almost. And number 1, the OG, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, I got to go with Jamie Lee Curtis. Of course, started with Halloween. Then in 1980 alone, she had 3 bangers come out. The Fog, Prom Night, as well as Terror Train. So big ups to our Scream Queens / Final Girls.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Thanks.
Ty did mostly new school, Scream Queens, Final Girls. At number 3, or I'll say some honorable mentions first. Chloe Grace Moretz.
Ooh.
She was, I think her first horror when she was little was in Amityville Horror with
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
I forgot she was in that.
And then obviously in the Carrie remake, which I love.
Yeah.
And then in Let Me In, the
Oh, wow, what a good list.
what remake is it? Let the Right One In?
The remake of Let the Right One In is the Dutch version, I think. It's
Let
overseas.
the Right One In is the Dutch.
Yeah,
version.
Let the Right One In, and then Let Me In is the American
yep.
remake, and they did a fantastic job with that movie.
So Chloe Grace Moretz, Jessica Lange, just from American Horror Story.
Ooh.
She made that show. To me, I was a huge American Horror Story fan, like in its prime, seasons 1 through 4 or 5, and then it kind of fell off. Kind of when Jessica Lange left.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't kept up since she left the show. So Jessica Lange is a awesome horror queen, which I wish we could have seen her do more horror stuff.
Yes. She's a terrific actress.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Obviously, Justin Long, Scream King, I guess you could say.
Good one.
He's in
Woo!
everything. Jeepers Creepers, Tusk,
Yep.
Barbarian.
Drag Me to Hell.
He is the Scream
He's
King.
the Scream King, the number 1 Scream King.
Weapons, he made an appearance in Weapons. Yeah, so Justin Long is my Scream King, honorable mention. Helena Bonham Carter, mainly just for her weird, creepy roles. Bellatrix in Harry Potter is a very terrifying role. The Red Queen in Alice in Wonderland. I forget the character's name in Sweeney Todd.
I do too.
But, the Johnny Depp's wife in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, pick a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, basically, pretty much. And then Evan Peters, my other Scream King, just from American Horror Story as well, pretty much. And he was in probably most of the seasons as far as recurring cast goes. So it was always, being part of that fandom, it was always super exciting to see this recurring cast come back as a new terrifying character. So he killed it in American Horror Story. So my top 3 Scream Queens, Final Girls. At number 3, I have Vera Farmiga. So that is Lorraine Warren in The Conjuring, of course, which they seemingly just wrapped up her story, at least, in the Conjuring universe with Conjuring Last Rites, which I thought was by the way. I love Conjuring 1 and 2. I think those are actually really good horror movies. Very frightening. This one was, it was kind of like a send-off to the Warrens, but it just wasn't the scariest to me. It was a little cheesy. Yeah. But still, she's great, and she is also the mom in the movie Orphan, where they adopt a child who's not the age that she's supposed to be. And then I think probably her greatest horror role is Norma Bates in Bates Motel. Really good show. I feel like it was like 2013 to 2017 or something.
Sounds about right.
With, what's his name? The Good Doctor guy.
Oh, yeah, the Good Doctor.
That guy.
I am a surgeon.
Yeah, he's great in that show.
You got to throw that clip in.
But she's terrifying as Norma Bates in the kind of prequel show that leads into the movie Psycho. My number 2 is Anya Taylor-Joy. She is Casey in Split. Really good movie with...
She almost made my top 3. I'm glad you got
with
her
our
on
leader, what's his name? Professor X. What is that actor's name? British guy.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Really great movie, great performances. Then we have, she was Thomason in The Witch, A24's The Witch, which is one of my favorite horror movies.
So well done.
And then she was Margot in The Menu, the newer movie with Ray Fiennes, where they go to this remote island, this fine dining type situation. Kind of a psychological thriller as well, a little bit. But that's an awesome movie if you haven't checked that out. I think it's on HBO.
Yeah, it was. I think it still is.
Super fun movie. So those are my top, or my number 3, number 2. My number 1 is Sarah Paulson. And this is just from nostalgia. Again, I was a huge American Horror Story fan, and she was one of those recurring cast members that really just stole the show. Every character. She was definitely a literal scream queen. She's very iconic for her scream, the way it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, I guess you could say, gut wrenching.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. But every role in American Horror Story was amazing. Especially Lana Winters in my favorite season, Asylum, where she plays a gay reporter reporting on Asylum, an insane asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And then as Cordelia Good, the witch in Coven, which is one of my favorite seasons, one of the spookiest. Not as It's still a terrifying season, but it's one of the more fun seasons, I guess you could say. Stevie Nicks makes an appearance, the White Witch. Um, so I just love Sarah Paulson, and she was also in the show limited series Ratched, where she
Mm-hmm.
plays Nurse Ratched, the antagonist from the one that flew over the cuckoo's
Yep.
nest. It's kind of her prequel, her prequel story before the events in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And if you haven't seen that, that is an amazing, amazing performance, terrifying, sick kind of show. So Nurse Ratched and all her roles in American Horror Story alone, and I know she's in that movie Run, about the mom who like is taking control of her daughter and making her think that she's sick or ill.
Oh, yeah,
Kind of,
yeah,
it
yeah.
seems a lot like the Gypsy Rose
Mm-hmm.
story, but I haven't seen that yet. And then there's another movie she has that's like about the Dust Bowl and like a super there's some kind of supernatural force over her family during the Dust Bowl.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are my Scream Queens.
Ooh. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah! Might have to hit all the buttons with this. Great list. Great list. We'd love to get your feedback as well. Please be sure to hit us up on our website or social medias. Love to know who your favorite Scream Queens or Kings are, as well as final girls or guys. All right, keeping it going out there. Favorite terrifying creatures. Number 3 for me is Brundlefly from the movie The Fly, the 1986 remake of the original Fly, which I believe came out in
Still haven't seen
1953. I know, we got to get you to watch it. I tell you, it's not a horror movie per se. It's definitely sci-fi, but the prosthetics and like makeup and special effects, especially for 86, top notch. Like when as he's transforming into the Fly, it's kind of a slow burn, slow progression. He's starting to get stronger, which he's like, oh, I'm getting to be like invincible, but he doesn't realize he's actually literally turning into a fly. And by the time he makes that full transformation, this thing is terrifying. So check out, and of course, Jeff Goldblum is just a national treasure. So check it out if you haven't yet. 1986 is The Fly. Number 2 with the bullets, I got to go with the Xenomorph from the Alien series. I mean, you want to talk about terrifying. Chrome teeth, acid for blood.
It's just such a cool design.
Yeah, based on H.R. Geiger's designs. He was actually a consultant for the first Alien movie, and I believe Aliens with James Cameron. And, they're some of the most terrifying things, period. Even on Alien
I just
Earth.
think they're so cool. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. All the creature design in the Alien movies, and especially Alien Earth, there's some new stuff that is more. Well, what I love about Alien Earth is they still stuck to their practical effects roots. Like the sets are widely real, handmade sets. The Xenomorph is still an actor playing a monster.
Yep.
There's a funny picture of the actor in the full Xenomorph, and he's got like sambas on when he's like chasing one of the kids or whatever. But a lot of it is still very practical, and I'm a huge, huge fan of practical effects and puppetry and animatronics and things like that. But there is obviously some more digital monsters too in this one that are also very terrifying as well. So
Yeah.
the Alien franchise is just awesome.
I should be finishing it soon, thank goodness.
So good.
And number 1, big shout outs to my parents and my sisters. Back in the day, HBO had this incredible horror anthology series called Tales from the Crypt. And The Crypt Keeper, it was one of those things to where, like, the intro, great music. Of course, it's done by Danny Elfman, who has done so many fantastic soundtracks. And then it leads you through this haunted house, and then the Crypt Keeper pops up and does this terrifying scream, voiced by John, I hope I don't butcher this too much, Casser or Cassier. Either way, a tremendous voice actor, but the Crypt Keeper was always terrifying, yet really, really funny at the same time, and he would introduce you to every episode. Then he would also be at the end of the episodes, but again, animatronics, the puppetry, everything. There was no CGI. Just people moving around the Crypt Keeper, and of course, John voicing the Crypt Keeper. So that's my top 3 right there.
Nice. Yeah, the Crypt Keeper is like, if there was a leader of all the terrifying creatures, he would be, their
100%.
leader, I feel like.
100%.
Okay, so my number 3 is the Smile monster from Smile and Smile 2.
The Entity.
Yeah, I love the Smile movies.
Me too.
They were just so much better than I thought they would be. They're just, if you haven't checked those out, definitely do give them a chance. I think I like Smile 2 more than Smile 1. I think it's scarier. It's shot super well. I was like, what is he doing? But yeah, and then I don't want to spoil it because I want people to watch it, but there is eventually a creature aspect to it. It's not just the smiling people the whole time. The thing that's kind of possessing them does show itself, somewhere in the movie, and it's just wild. It is a wild looking creature, super just gory looking. It's campy, and I love campy creatures, especially when you don't expect them in movies. And I feel like I wasn't expecting the monster in Smile when it like really revealed its true form, and I just love how insane it is. And that's all mostly prosthetic and puppetry stuff as well, completely handmade, with just some, I think, a little bit of digital enhancement. But I love the Smile monster, and that's a couple of the studios that were involved in the makeup and effects there. Studio Gillis, Jeremy Selenfried, Rodeo FX, and Joanne Kuntz. Studio Gillis, I guess, had a hand in quite a few special effects. I think he had a hand in Prey, in the Predator movies, designing the Predator. And then my number 2 is the same as my dad's. It's the Xenomorph. I'm a huge Alien fan. Obviously, I just went on a whole thing. I loved Alien Earth. Alien Romulus was my favorite of that year. Just such a great franchise. Designed by H.R. I guess is it Gig?
I think it's Geiger.
Geiger?
Yeah.
H.R. Geiger, and then brought to life by Nick Alder and Roger Dickon in the original Alien movie.
Good fun fact.
Later films include teams such as Stan Winston's studio, Alex Gillis' studio, which I just said had a hand in Smile and Predator and tons of scary stuff, and ADI. And then my number 1 is Zach Krager's Barbarian.
Wow.
I love Barbarian. It's such a weird, awesome horror movie. I love that you just cannot expect anything that goes on in that movie from the trailer.
Yeah.
Same with like Weapons. You could not really expect anything that was going to happen in Weapons, which is also Zach Krager's movie. And so that element alone just elevated the experience for me, because when you first see the monster in Barbarian, it is terrifying. I don't want to spoil that either, but there's like a head being bashed in a wall and strobe lights. That's all I'll say. And you just kind of see glimpses of the monster, and then obviously as you go down into the basement, you see more and more of her. So Barbarian, she's super freaky, uncomfortable, gross. And then by the end of it's kind of like sad. It's kind of sad if you think about it. So, but Barbarian, great movie. If you have not checked that out, please do. If you're looking for something kind of different with a horror movie, this is for you. Justin Long is in it. There's like a tonal shift in the movie where you think the movie just abruptly ended, but it's introducing Justin Long's kind of real role in it. And it's a very satisfying ending, I will say that. And my honorable mentions for creatures are the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I'm obsessed with dinosaurs, and then the T-Rex in Jurassic Park being just a gigantic, like 2-3 ton animatronic is just awesome. No digital, no matter how good it looks, like will be that cool to me. The fact that those kids were actually under that giant monster under in the Jeep, like actually screaming for their lives. Yeah, somebody I read that somebody, one of the I guess puppet guys inside the animatronic almost died inside the animatronic due to malfunctions and getting stuck. He had to be hospitalized.
Holy
I'm pretty
crap.
sure.
I was going to say, because with animatronic, all that stuff, like, it's not guaranteed. Like, it does add a
No,
terrifying element.
Yeah, it's just I can't imagine what the inside of that thing looked like. And then Monstro, Eliza Sue, I think, from The Substance. Another super good horror movie that's really weird, really campy. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, I think her name is. If you haven't seen that yet, check that out. It is super different. And I'm talking about the monster at the end. I don't even have, it's another gross one. It's sad. I will say it's the saddest creature to me. Like, if you really think about it, I felt really bad for this creature. It's a movie with a lot of heavy themes about beauty and, standards for women and whatnot, and what we hold for ourselves. So, but it's also a funny movie. It's a horrifying movie.
Golden Globe for Demi Moore, too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And Substance was nominated for several Oscars as well, which, as we know, horror movies don't get a lot of Oscar nominations.
This is true.
Yeah. So check that out. Yeah, that's my terrifying creatures.
There we go. To wrap things up, we're going to go over some of our all-time favorites. So for this list, I decided to do top 5 favorite remakes. Let's just get into it. I already briefly mentioned, my number 3 most terrifying creature, the Brundlefly. So the Fly remake with living legend Jeff Goldblum, God bless you. Remake of the 1958 classic. Sorry, I think I said 53 earlier. Incredible special effects, great story, and Jeff Goldblum just killing it with the slow transformation into the Brundlefly. It's not a horror movie. Like I said, it's more sci-fi than anything, but the makeup, the prosthetics, everything, it does get pretty terrifying. Like, he gets really disgusting looking there at the end. But again, just a great film. Number 4 for me, I'll never forget the trailers when this came out. It's probably one of my favorite trailers. Normally horror movies will have a good trailer even if the movie's trash. This one, the trailer definitely led up to to me what I thought is a spectacular remake. 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. Again, just a great remake, incredibly terrifying, a little bit funny at parts. It's just a good film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Number 3, The Invisible Man. Came out in 2020, directed by Leah Whannell, I believe, starring Elizabeth Moss from The Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
Really great film, definitely underrated. I think it did pretty well at the box office, and it's supposed to be part of the Universal Monsters universe, but then The Mummy came out, and that didn't do so well. So, who knows what's going to happen with that. But again, a great film. Number 2, one of the gorier ones in the list, 2013's Evil Dead, directed by, is it Fede Alvarez?
I think it's Fed or something. I don't know.
Fed Alvarez?
Fede Alvarez.
But let's just say Alvarez, and written by Alvarez, Sam Raimi, and Diablo Cody, which I did not know.
That's a really familiar. What is that?
She did,
That's a really familiar name.
what is it? The Something Kiss, the one with Megan Fox. Jessica's
I know
Kiss or
that
Jennifer's
name.
something.
Oh,
Jennifer's
Body?
Body. Yes.
Ooh, I
Yes,
just watched that
that's
the
it.
other day for the 1 millionth time.
I need to
One of
watch
the
it
only
again.
movies my partner likes to watch horror-wise. So, yeah.
But yeah, just as good as the original. Obviously, more up to date. The original was made on a very low budget, and honestly, it's still pretty terrifying. But this one, obviously the stakes are a little bit higher, a little bit more of a budget. The gore is really good. I thought they did a phenomenal job. Yeah. And number 1 for me, and still to this day, one of my all-time favorite horror movies, whether if it's a remake or not. 2004's Dawn of the Dead with Zack Snyder and our boy James Gunn, as well as co-written by James Gunn and George A. Romero, the original godfather of the Living Dead series, and directed by Zack Snyder. Really put Snyder as well as Gunn on the map. Starring Ving Rhames, Sarah Polley, Michael Kelly, and Ty Burrell, who's in Modern Family. When you see his character in this, you won't believe it's the same guy that's in Modern Family, because you're not pulling.
Phil would hate this guy.
Yes, you're not pulling for his character to win at all, and that's all I'll say about it. It's incredibly terrifying, very fast pace. Takes place in the mall like the original did. The original, I'll be honest with you, isn't my favorite by any means. It's very slow. It's just not really good, if I'm being honest. This one, it's like I said, it's terrifying. The story's great. The zombies are super fast in this. Yep. To me, a horror masterpiece in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good list. I only have 3 for remakes because there's still a lot that I haven't seen yet. My number 3 is The Thing. It's also one of my honorable creatures I forgot to mention.
Great.
But The Thing, John Carpenter, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Carpenter, Kurt Russell. I honestly have only seen it once, but again, if it has practical creatures, I'm already won over to some degree. And so I just remember the creature and The Thing was like not what I was expecting at all. Or I guess they call them like the organism or something like that. But it's a really gross, scary, like nightmarish creature that I just was not expecting in this 80s movie. So The Thing is my number 3. Obviously, I haven't seen the 1951 The Thing. I don't think many people have. But we're just, that is 1982, The Thing. And then I also had Evil Dead on my list. I think it's a great movie, and I love Evil Dead Rise. It's awesome. If you like just blood spattering absolutely everywhere and pouring out of the screen, this is the one. The ending is just, oh my God. I want to spoil it so bad. But yeah, it's
we're just going to say Rat King.
I mean, that spoils it, but whatever. We said spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rat King, there's a...
Well, the only people that would get that would have played The Last of Us.
What are those things called? The wood chipper? There's a wood chipper involved. And
anytime a wood chipper's involved, you know bad stuff.
Yeah, if you don't know what a Rat King is, look it up.
Yeah.
I'll Google it. Yeah. There you go. And then see like its portrayals in pop culture. There's not many, but it's a scary concept. Mm-hmm. So we'll just say there's a Rat King and a wood chipper at the end. What do you think? The screen's going to be red. So, Evil Dead is a great remake. And then my number 1 is the Carrie remake. I think it's so underrated, or people don't give it enough credit. But directed by Kimberly Pierce, 2013, with Chloe Grace Moretz, Ansel Elgort. I just think it's a good remake. And Julianne Moore, what's her name?
Yeah, Julianne Moore.
It plays a very terrifying mother. So, yeah, I think definitely if you haven't seen the Carrie remake, check it out. Or if you kind of didn't love it the first time, give it another chance, because I feel like it's a pretty awesome remake. And the visual effects are really cool. Yeah. There's this car crash scene where like a face goes into the windshield and you see like the glass splintering, and their faces, and obviously her supernatural powers are really cool as well. If you could recommend one horror movie and one horror show to the audience to watch this Halloween, what would you pick?
Ooh, good one.
Before we leave.
I would say if you've not seen Smile yet, or Smile 2, for sure. Just like Jordan, I went in low expectations, blown away. I will say for sequels, Smile 2 is up there for me, especially for horror. Smile 2 stayed with me for a couple days. Like,
I remember him saying that.
Yeah, just because, there's, and again, without spoilers in there is like a little bit of a twist, and you're like, so what was real and what wasn't real? But just a very well done sequel, and if, and I'm sure when they do part 3, our minds are going to be blown again. So that would be my movie pick.
It's just a good blend too of like, if you like a little psychological stuff, if you like campy, silly kind of monsters again. But, also if you like terrifying stuff, if you like gore, this is a good kind
Yeah.
of just all-encompassing
Yep,
franchise.
both are incredibly good. TV show wise, I can't wait to get caught up on Alien Earth. I'm not caught up yet. By the time this airs, I should be caught up. But besides that, I will say this: I forgot to honorable mention. So I'm glad you asked. Season 4 of Stranger Things, Vecna is terrifying.
I remember when that season first came out, I
Terrifying.
was so hyped because
Yeah.
I was like, this is scary.
Yes,
Like
it's the
Chrissy's-
scariest season by far.
I was like, this is cool. Like they're definitely doing something different here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Yeah, it's
It
more
just-
horror based than sci-fi.
yeah, for sure.
Vecna's terrifying. There's a cool cameo by Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger, of course. So yeah, so I started rewatching it, getting ready for the final season, and it's so good. I just think it gets put to the side because there's so long of a gap in between the seasons. Plus, we had the writer's strike, pandemic, everything else. But yeah, so that would be my TV show. If you haven't seen Stranger Things at all, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
If you have, definitely give season 4 a rewatch. It's a lot scarier than I remember.
It is.
And then
It's,
movie wise, Smile 1 and 2.
That's good.
What about you?
So my show would be Haunting of Hill House.
Ooh.
And I remember when this came out, I can't exactly, I want to say it was maybe like 2018,
I think so.
2019. Haunting of Hill House, based on Shirley Jackson's book, who's a great short story writer and scary story writer. This is a great show as far as, it's just a great show, period. The casting is great. The acting, the performances are all, to me, like nomination worthy. It's terrifying. The story is really good, like the family dynamic going on, and each character gets highlighted, like the brothers, the sisters, the kids, and there's flashbacks to when they were kids. It's a really, really good plot and character-driven story. It's just an all-around good show. But if you want something spooky, scary, dark, this is a show that I think you should definitely watch. I remember at the time it did get tons of hype, because it was so good. But definitely check that out. It's super worthy of all the recognition it gets. And I'm a big Shirley Jackson fan. The Lottery. I don't know if you guys had to read. I had to read The Lottery in school. Do you know what that is? Short story?
No.
She has lots of spooky short stories, but that one is about a villager who is getting stoned by all the other villagers.
Ooh, next year. We don't even have to wait a year. We should do one on favorite scary books and graphic novels.
Yeah, that would be good. If y'all want to see that, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be my show, Haunting of Hill House. And then movie, that's really tough. I would say Hereditary.
Ooh.
Hereditary is my favorite horror movie.
So scary.
A24 in the 2010s definitely took horror to like a new level, to a new tone even. The intimacy and kind of darkness, it's more twisted. Hereditary is really good modern horror.
Yeah.
Demonic possession type, but again, it's not like The Exorcist. It's not like The Conjuring, demonic possession. This is like you will be thinking about it afterwards. A lot of shock factor things going on, especially like the climax of the movie is like I hope you don't know anything that happens in this movie, because that climax is unlike any other horror climax. It's very just like stomach drop, like okay. That's an great performances. Toni Collette should have been nominated for that role.
I'm surprised you didn't have her on your list.
Well, I don't know what else horror she's been in, really.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if she's like a scream queen, but I mean, just Hereditary, and because then in that note, I would say like Florence Pugh in Midsommar is a awesome final girl. Yeah. But that's the only thing horror that I've seen that she's been in. I don't know if she's in anything.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But as far as final girls go, yeah, Florence Pugh in Midsommar. But you got to be ready to watch that one. That one's really same director as Hereditary, Ari Aster. Very even more twisted than Hereditary. So yeah, I would say if you want some modern horror, good example of modern horror, Hereditary for sure. Something that'll actually scare you, shock you.
Yeah, I concur.
That's what
I
would say.
concur. Your horror experts here. Laura, X23, Logan, Weapon X, Wolverine. Happy Halloween out there, you nerds. We love you. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow on all of our social media formats, especially YouTube. More big things coming your way throughout the rest of 2025. 2 months left. Going to finish with a bang. But yeah, happy Halloween. Stay safe out there. Love each other. We'll see you next time.